Have you ever wondered why you sometimes act, feel, or respond a certain way within a relationship? This could be because of your attachment style. Attachment styles are based heavily on events in early childhood. These attachment styles are the preconceptions and expectations of relationships that are developed about others depending on the types of relationships you had early on in life with a primary caregiver, such as a mother or a father. In an article written by Feeney and Noller, they discuss that each attachment style has its own characteristics and is a result of a specific kind of relationship that was developed at a young age. There are 4 different attachment styles: secure, anxious, avoidant, and disorganized. A secure attachment style in a romantic relationship is characterized by being able to trust others, not being afraid of intimacy, giving and accepting love, and being comfortable with giving a partner time and space. An anxious attachment style, on the other hand, is characterized by having a fear of abandonment, being fearful of rejection, fearing that the partner will leave, and having frequent anxiety within the relationship. An avoidant attachment is characterized by the individual keeping their distance, having trouble trusting others, being emotionally unavailable, and exhibiting independence and self-reliance. Lastly, a disorganized attachment is a combination of an anxious and avoidant attachment. It is characterized by craving affection yet avoiding it, being reluctant to form romantic relationships, having difficulty regulating emotions, and needing to feel loved by others. If the primary caregiver was attentive and present, angry or upset, or perhaps dismissive and busy, these actions may impact the attachment style that is developed. Simpson in 1990 found that even though these attachment styles are developed so young, they predict how we handle our relationships throughout our life. Simpson found that for both men and women, the secure attachment style was associated with greater relationship interdependence, commitment, trust, and satisfaction than were the anxious or avoidant attachment styles. The anxious and avoidant styles were associated with less frequent positive emotions and more frequent negative emotions within the relationship. In an article by Belsky in 2010, it explains that attachment security and insecurity directly influences the internal working model of the self and plays a role in how an individual sees themselves and others in terms of close relationships. Our interpersonal feelings as children are important when it comes to relationships. A study by Simpson in 1990 used 144 dating couples who were students from the Texas A&M University to further research the influence of attachment styles on romantic relationships. In his study, he found that men who scored higher on the anxious attachment index were involved with female dating partners who scored somewhat lower on the secure index. Moreover, men who scored higher on the avoidant index were dating women who scored somewhat higher on the anxious index. It also found that women who scored higher on the secure index were dating men who scored lower on the avoidant index, and women who scored lower on the anxious index were dating men who scored higher on the secure index. This gives us a little insight into how our attachment styles may correlate with others' attachment styles. If you feel that your attachment style may be impacting your relationship, there are several ways you can work towards healing your attachment issues. It is really important to first familiarize yourself with your attachment style and get to know the ins and outs of it. You should also take time to figure out and understand your partner's attachment style. The next important step is to self-reflect and spend time understanding yourself. This will help you notice triggers and be able to set healthy boundaries within the relationship. After you've done this, you can confidently know your needs and communicate them. Lastly, try to find your attachment wounds that are tied to your triggers and discuss on how these wounds can be healed. Taking this approach is a great way to not only help with your relationship, but also to ease your mind as you move forward. It is important to be aware that each relationship varies in countless ways. No relationship is exactly the same as another relationship, just as no person is the same as another person. Each relationship has its ups and downs and has its own stepping stones that allow individuals to gain a deeper understanding and appreciation for the other. Keep in mind, no relationship or person is perfect, and perfection cannot be expected. Every relationship takes self-reflection and communication. I hope you enjoyed this rundown of relationship attachment styles. If you did, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and if you want to dive deeper into the subject, make sure you check out the description where I've included all of the articles I've used.